you cross the bridge into Bounty. And you take a quick look around, cast your gaze across the great waterways. The sunlight catches your eye, and you can tell, wow, this place is bigger than I expected, actually. In fact, Bounty's quite large. This little connected waterway is something of a river. The map makes it like the map adds a certain amount of perspective, and you realize, oh boy, this is gonna take some walking. I am going to share the map with you all.
Holy cats.
Yeah, you take a look down at the map provided to you by Orchid. Indeed, 3 houses have been marked with red X's. Your destination. Yeah, it's big. This is a big one. Would you believe me if I told you this wasn't even a quarter of it?
Yes, I have eyes.
Your destinations are set, and, well, you set about heading over to them, but an unfortunate complication has arisen, and you take a look at it, sort of wandering behind you, sneering at you. So...
Yeah, so, Zachariah, is it?
Yes, indeed. Here, follow me. He kind of wanders along. He, like, jumps up on the side of the, bridge and actually walks foot in front of foot, hops down, and then, continues leading the way. All the guards actually stop and salute, which is weird. One doesn't. And, like, this one wanders over and kind of whacks him, and he finally does. So, welcome to my town, I suppose. Weird that I should be put in charge, but I guess stranger things have happened. The guards that he's passing by take a look at you. Captain, who are they? Do you know them? He looks down, looks back over at the group. Oh, they're related somehow. What was the excuse again? Picks at the side of his head. That one's Juliet's nephew, points at Sprout, shrugs. They all look at each other. Okay, moving on.
They're both dark green.
Celine just like looks back at everyone. You guys doing okay back there?
I
Velvet.
don't know what's going on, but we're getting in, so...
Velvet, like, openly frowned when Zachariah took the lead. It looked like she was literally 3 seconds from grabbing Atticus and straight up seeing if she could walk away and not have to deal with him.
Yeah, Celine's trying to play front shield for Atticus.
As he wanders in front, Velvet, you actually get a pretty good look at this man's aura. It's strange. Yeah, he reminds you of someone you met recently, but you can't quite put your finger on it. It has the quality of being clear like running water or almost empty, with an occasional pop or hiss like a firecracker or something. You don't get the same sense of enmity that you're used to from, say, higher up in Aranea, but you also don't get that sense of stability that you get from looking at, like, a person. So, in either case, rather uncomfy.
Velvet is basically ping-ponging, acting as a body shield on either side of Atticus. Anytime she's, like, looking at one, she doesn't trust either of these two for different reasons.
So, I'm going to be honest here. He stops and leans in. You're probably wondering why I'd even bother with a bunch of people who clearly want to get into the city for, I don't know what reason.
Yeah?
Yeah, crossed our minds.
The truth is, I don't particularly, and you hear sort of a commotion. No, hold on 1 second. He turns around and you see just ahead down the road, actually, two Araneans sort of giving a little bit of trouble to two folks in their cake cart.
Sons of bitches.
Bastards.
In a few seconds, actually, Zachariah, like, faster than you can watch, zips down.
Oh,
And-
here we go.
You hear a few words from down the way. Okay, so, bringing some cakes outside the city, huh? Yes? Yeah, no, we're bakers. We bake cakes. Mighty suspicious, if you ask me. Suddenly, both men have an arm thrown around either shoulder. Gentlemen, this is suspicious indeed. Please, tell me what you've discovered in your investigation of this innocuous cake cart so far. They're bakers and transporting cakes. Suddenly the tone and, tenor of the air shifts. It goes from one where the Araneans were clearly exuding pressure and control of the situation to suddenly to one of two cornered rats. Oh, suspicious cakes. That's fascinating. He swings around and almost dips one of the men with him. So, here's what we're going to do. You two are going to escort them out the city and make sure that no one else interferes with their suspicious cakes. You know, safely transport them to a distance. They stop. Okay, sir. The two bakers look equivalently confused. So are we being robbed or not? No. We're just interested in seeing your potentially dangerous goods outside the city. Isn't that correct? Isn't that correct, my chums? He shakes both the soldiers. Yeah, we'll help.
He's been very bored lately.
Sorry, we're dealing with some of my boss's men, and they tend to be rather unruly. They think cakes are suspicious. How delightful. Same smile. Anyway, I'm sure Juliet's told you, I've been rather bored lately, and I've been stuck on this job for quite some time. So, spins on his heel, having an excuse like escorting some VIPs from, let's say Bluebell, around the city, that'd give me an excuse to not do my job for a little bit. So, if we could just...
Sure, absolutely. You mentioned your boss's boss?
Oh, yeah, no, the CEO of security. Harold. He makes a face.
Velvet makes the same face.
Look, I'm going to be square with you. I make $5.50 an hour. I don't make enough money to constitute the responsibilities that have been foisted upon my delicate shoulders.
Yeah, no kidding.
He sags. So, any excuse to do anything else, and I will jump at it.
You're a captain and that's all you make?
Yeah, right?
Oh.
Looks over and slowly shakes his head. Honestly, that might be because I keep getting my pay docked for infighting.
Oh.
Causing incidents. Pitting the Araneans against each other.
Atticus is flipping through a little booklet in his hands. I think I might be able to help. I've got this.
What?
So I've got this really detailed book now about baking. So if you let me examine these cakes, I believe I could determine whether or not they are in fact dangerous. And then everyone could just agree.
She doesn't even know how to start with you.
Celine just kind of lowers herself a little bit to his level. I think it's one of those things where we should just, in good faith, assume, it'll be fine.
Good kid, Zachariah says, grinning.
Juliet's leaning over looking at the little book with this tiny grin on her face.
No. Oh, do we not? Okay, well, that option's on the table if you need it for later. He flips the
Delightful.
book.
If we come across any further suspicious cakes, you'll be the first informed.
And besides, I'm a traveling breadsman. I have an eye for these things.
So, anywhere in particular you'd like to see in our wonderful town?
Yeah, we have a couple spots actually.
She,
We hear these are the hot tourist destinations for people in comas, which I know doesn't sound super exciting, but how about I rephrase that as mystery comas?
He looks down at the piece of paper. Oh, this looks like the work of that last resort person who was flitting around earlier. Interesting. I could care about this, but honestly, I am like 1 gold an hour short of actually caring about it, so spins on his heel.
Celine
takes a
hands him
step
1
away.
gold.
Glamier was gonna do the same thing.
Oh, a tip. Look at that.
He takes the gold and looks at it. That's incredibly kind. I don't think. Sorry. he flips the gold back. I feel like we've got off on the wrong foot. Normally Areneans, and especially Arenean captain, would be expected to report anything related to our persons of interest. But the fact that I'm not getting paid enough for this job, it might actually help you out a bit.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh,
I
you're one of
see.
those.
How are you all so sweet? This is unbelievable.
Huh.
I'm
I
sorry.
see now.
Brutal city cynicism is probably setting in. I gotta realize I'm out in the country. I'm breathing fresh country air.
No,
No,
I'm,
I feel ya.
Strains up and
I'm
inhales.
actually with you. I don't.
She expected Glammiasman to Bluebell, but says anyway.
I don't think any of them have the usual Bluebell Aranea flavor yet.
I mean, I'm from Snowdrop. That's a pretty big city as well, but
Snowdrop has its own problems. You have my
Yeah.
condolences.
yeah.
He looks
Bluebell's-
solemn for a second.
Bluebell's too noisy, too much, too many.
Yeah, I believe that's patently true, but city has a charm. I don't know. Actually, you know, this is exactly the type of conversation, aka any, that I've been looking for. So let's walk and talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grab.
Should we go to this first one? The one that's north of here?
I think there's actually one right before the turnoff.
Yeah, no, Celine kind of like leans back to Atticus. Believe me, once we get a chance to split off from this guy, I can go pop and take a look.
Okay.
You as you wander under this big tower, you suddenly feel like a shift in the air. It's strange. It doesn't feel like an overwhelming presence, like you're used to that. It almost feels like something invisibly moving under the surface of the water, sending ripples all around. And you feel the presence above you change. Almost something catches the light, and you're pretty sure you meet someone's eyes. Someone's looking at you from above, almost empty, or you try to get a grasp, Velvet in particular, of this person's aura, and it's strange. You almost feel like the light that normally emanates from people is being bounced back at you. You exchange a look, and just as quickly as you saw them, they vanish. You all stopped. Why did you stop?
What's this building?
Oh, this is God. He takes out his own map and looks at it. I gotta be a good tour
This
guide.
building is tall.
This building
Lemmy
is.
says on-
Thanks,
hopefully-
Glamier.
Yeah!
He looks down at his own map and looks up. This is the Ivory Tower. Ooh.
Wow.
What does
It's
it
even-
do?
Is it actually Ivory?
No. He continues doing jazz hands
Is it-
while walking backwards.
It's even taller than Wizard Bill.
I think this was a... He's reading his book while walking backwards, trying to give a tour. This is a very real tour. I'm very busy. He yells at the guards. There's another tower. There's the Ebony Tower. That was repurposed into a bank, but, like, I think this one's just housing now.
Huh.
I think the higher-ups are stationed there, but it's not my department, so I wouldn't know. It's always
Velvet-
guarded, so shrug.
Velvet leans over to Juliet.
Is like captain the highest rank in this town right now, or is there like a double captain?
Double.
Don't like how you said that.
Sprout is leaning, like, trying to view around your arm to look at this probably colossal person that's following us. Seems to be scribbling a portrait of her
Oh.
Velvet is very much like, don't you look at my baby, skirting him away, and Sprout's just
It's funny because even though you're doing that, Juliet's being very passive. When she was crossing the bridge, she was like looking at the water and how it like reflected the light. Now she's just looking at these flowers.
Yeah, Velvet looks very overly cautious.
Atticus has his goggles out. He's gonna take a quick gander at these cakes and analyze them for combustible materials.
You take a look as the two bakers pack up their cakes. Zachariah like clicks his tongue again. Yeah, good kid. Way too innocent. Oh my god. Atticus, you take a look, and indeed, these cakes are completely mundane. They are not suspicious in the least.
Well, it seems safe enough. I can't pretend to be an expert in this subject material yet, though. They look tasty. I guess if there's any problems, you can just eat them.
Well, it was worth investigating, for goodness cake.
Zachariah yells over your group. Oh, God. Zachariah yells over your group at the two who are now assisting to pull the cart. You hear that? Our official cake inspector says they don't look too suspicious, but better not touch them just to be sure, okay, you two? Grin, grin. Let's go on with our tour. So this is the main thoroughfare of Bounty. Lovely, or it would be if we weren't evacuating the place.
Yeah. You seem pretty casual considering there is a,
An evacuation? Oh my
Evacuation?
God, I've been up since
Yeah.
so early having to deal with this. All my professionalism ran out around 7 a.m.
When'd you get up?
Like, 7 a.m.
Velvet grins, glad he played the exact ball game she thought he would.
Velvet, you feel like you're getting a good grasp of this person. He wanders away and goes, okay, it's the first stop on our tour. Mysterious house number 1. Okay, you two. I have some very important guests traveling with me. You mind moving aside? They exchange looks. Yeah, you here for your daily visit? Yep, that's right. They actually, like, sort of wander off and give you some space.
Oh, we lost your friend.
Yeah, Sprout's mask is shifting around trying to figure out where she went.
She'll pop up when you least expect it.
Cool.
Well, you wanna visit the most wondrous, tourist destination for coma cases? Feel free, head on in.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Do you have any details of, when precisely this happened with this person?
Oh.
Yeah, how, if any, how contagious is this, and how anyone else going into this building should we be? I feel like
Concern
Sprout and I'll
is-
be we'll be fine.
His expression actually changes a little bit. Okay. Your concern seems genuine enough, I guess. Whatever business you have here, I guess you couldn't do any harm. Okay, yeah. This particular house started about 3 days ago. We've been keeping an eye on it ever since. I mean, I've been assigned to the area, but, honestly, this is one of the few jobs I've taken seriously over the last few days. Very little movement, very little... Can I ask, what are you guys? If you're
12.
looters, I'm going to have to stop you. You're 12, good.
No, furthest thing from.
Velvet, barely manages to stifle some kind of laugh smile when Celine says that.
I'm a
That's
doctor.
good. Oh,
I'm on my way back from treating a sick cat, and I heard there were sick people.
Sprout's about to wipe away what's there, but he actually just doesn't want to wipe away the drop.
Sprout, did you wanna stay outside and keep a lookout, or? No, I'm gonna need you as my little assistant. I'm making the decision for you, sorry.
Do you need help in there, or?
We'll find out. Knock knock, I hope you're conscious.
Sprout is
I don't
showing
know.
the picture quickly to the,
Let me go with you.
the nice man.
You guys, okay. You guys with the medical division or something?
No.
Good.
No.
It's all he offers as you go inside.
Lemier is like rushing behind you, just like pushing you guys in through the door. Does not want to be around Zachariah.
Acceptable.
Celine just sits on the stair. Boy, this is not even a very accurate way of describing it. I guess you could describe us as pleasant mercenaries, but even that's mercenary is a strong word.
Pleasant murderers.
I don't think you could describe us as that. We might be the only adventuring party you can't describe as that.
He sort of like relaxes back in his chair. Are you officially with the Last Resort or something? Because if you are, I do have to kick you out.
No. Further, no, not at all.
Okay.
I am in.
If you're unaffiliated do-gooders, I literally can't do anything
That's
about
actually
that.
probably the most accurate. Unaffiliated do-gooders.
Nice. He says as he just relaxes in the chair.
Now, obviously, there is a little bit of self-interest as we do need to travel and we'd like to get on the trains. But in the process and considering the lines are super long, we figure we might as well see what we can do to help.
You need to get on the trains, huh? Okay. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out some official Aranea stationery and starts to write, sees the kid in front of me, get the out of my way, dash Zachariah, hands it over to you. Give that to anyone who's stopping you on the train platform. They know my signature. They know my handwriting.
Oh. Thank you. I feel like I should give you something in return.
No, I literally... I have all this power. What would the point of it be if I couldn't actually abuse it in any way?
I have all this power and my 550.
Celine is actually like pretty pleased to talk with this guy because in Snowdrop, people in power abuse it in the wrongest way possible. And to see this lack of a better term, this chuckle fuck do the right thing with it, she's like on board actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
how
no.
did you guess my class?
Oh, Zachariah chuckle fuck, how'd you know?
Don't make jokes.
I can't wait until Sprout completes his picture of Juliet and gets the Juliet class and just turns into a second one of her.
What the fuck?
Whoa. Are these dust cobwebs around the edges of the floor?
It's, yeah, this is clearly a very dirty house, actually.
Oh.
It's just sort of built up around the outsides. One of the disadvantages of being in Bounty is topsoil's actually kind of loose, and if you keep the windows open, it'll blow in.
Ew.
Whoever lives here was probably some sort of farmer or worker, so yeah, there's a lot of dirt buildup around the outsides of the room, and taking a look, there are indentations where furniture once was.
Oh, did they like take her furniture and burn it because quarantine? I hope not. No, they didn't leave her with any amenities. All right, let's take a look.
Shockingly, actually, there are, like, set on the side table, there are actually multiple water skins and actually a bouquet of flowers, weirdly.
All right, I take a look at this woman. I guess I'll roll medicine.
So, the first thing that you notice is a coma case that started a few days ago should not look like this. Coma has some pretty intense symptoms that you're not like, this isn't your area of specialty, but you've dealt with it in the past. There's no sign of dehydration despite there not being an IV. Furthermore, there's other obvious no physical representation of coma itself, without getting into the nitty-gritty details. It almost appears like she fell asleep within the last hour or so, and has entered a physical stasis ever since.
Oh, it's a time coma.
Oh,
I say
what?
that like it's a usual term. It's not, I'm making this up.
It's not like your doctor's license at risk.
Wonk.
Does it look like she's drunk from any of the water skins?
No. You can't really tell that. Like, So another part of coma is like it can oftentimes exist in multiple states. Like it's not 100% you're out like a light frequently. Like there are moments of clarity, movement, etc., and even consciousness. It doesn't appear that she's moved, but like if you had to guess, people probably tried to give her water and it didn't work. They're still full and sitting there should she wake up.
Okay. Huh. Well, I don't have a lot of personal experience with this, but my initial impression is that she got frozen in time by some sort of time curse and/or time basilisk.
Basilisk is pretty scary.
It is pretty. I always like to assume the worst case scenario. I mean, I don't, but then I'm prepared at least.
Oh, okay.
If nothing else, if she did just get, like, frozen, then that means it's probably not contagious.
Sprout goes up to this nice sleeping woman and
Jesus.
Good work, nurse.
Clemmy puts his hands over his mouth.
No, I mean, you never know. Sometimes it's like a broken TV. Usually
Looks
not,
like-
though. That's usually very bad.
Looks like we know which of us
Okay,
will be the
hold
first
on
to
a
gain
second.
the polite murderer class.
Just make sure no one tries to close the windows. He looks outside. You see something?
My, is that lime causing assault?
Wow, a time basilisk, huh?
Oh, don't mind me.
Closes the window.